Have you ever met someone who seems sweet and gentle on the outside, but is completely different on the inside? You know the type, those calculating, fox-like individuals who appear harmless but are surprisingly difficult to approach. How do these people hide their true intentions? How do they win others over to their side? Today, we're diving deep into the characteristics of people whose exterior doesn't match their interior, those cunning, fox-like personalities. We'll explore their psychology and learn how to deal with them wisely. In our daily lives, we encounter these types of people more often than we realize. Sometimes we're drawn to their charm. Other times we're confused because we can't quite figure out their real motives. Today, let's develop the insight to see through their facade and avoid being fooled by appearances alone. Hiding their true feelings. One of their most prominent traits is their ability to conceal their inner thoughts. They rarely reveal their genuine feelings or opinions. On the surface, they always wear a warm, gentle smile. But in reality, they're keenly observing every situation, ready to move in, whatever direction benefits them most. Like a poker player who never shows their hand, they keep their cards close to their chest. We often fall for their outward appearance. It can take a long time to realize. There's calculated thinking behind their warm words and actions. They almost never show emotional distress. No matter the situation, they maintain composure, carefully managing everything from their facial expressions to their tone of voice. As a result, people around them see them as rational rather than emotional. But behind that rational exterior often lies cold, calculated thinking. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can be seen as an exceptional ability to control emotions and judge situations objectively. Many successful leaders and negotiators possess this skill. By effectively managing their emotions, they avoid showing weakness to others and maintain the upper hand. For example, in an important business negotiation, even when the other party takes an aggressive stance, these fox-like individuals remain completely calm, actually throwing their opponent off balance. Ultimately, by concealing their true feelings, they gain others' trust while simultaneously protecting themselves. This ability becomes a powerful psychological weapon, often giving them an overwhelming advantage over those around them. Exceptional situational awareness. Fox-like people are brilliant at absorbing information from their surroundings like sponges. They notice everything changes in facial expressions, shifts in voice tone, even the smallest gestures, allowing them to accurately read others' intentions. For instance, during a conversation, they'll catch the moment someone's eyes waver, or their face subtly tenses, immediately recognizing discomfort. They then adjust their behavior or words to either accommodate the person's mood or steer the conversation in their desired direction. This exceptional awareness plays a crucial role in turning situations to their advantage or avoiding unnecessary friction. Thanks to this skill, they often become the life of the party at gatherings or take on mediating roles in conflicts. People praise them, saying, "You're so perceptive," or "You really know how to read the room." Their awareness goes beyond forming personal connections. Sometimes it becomes the key to success in professional life. They adjust their reporting timing based on their boss's mood or read the subtle power dynamics among colleagues to build advantageous alliances. This is no easy skill. It's the result of constant observation and accumulated experience. However, all these actions may be underpinned by calculations about what advantages they can gain from their position. Their perceptiveness isn't simple consideration. It's a powerful weapon for controlling situations. That's why we need to occasionally question the intentions behind their kindness. They never act without purpose. Flexible adaptability. They also possess remarkable adaptability. They never panic in unexpected or crisis situations. Instead, they skillfully accept circumstances and turn the tide in their favor. Like water flowing naturally, they navigate crises and maintain a composed attitude, as if nothing happened. For example, when problems arise, most people scramble or respond emotionally, but fox-like individuals step back and analyze the situation objectively. Then they find the most efficient solution that minimizes harm to themselves. They never let emotions derail their plans. Instead, they use cool judgment to move at the optimal moment. This demeanor gives others the impression that this person can handle anything, or their composure is remarkable. For instance, when sudden work disruptions occur, while most people panic trying to fix things, fox-like individuals quickly acknowledge what's happened and immediately seek alternatives. They make even these alternatives appear as if they were a part of the original plan all along. Their flexibility isn't just good. Nature. It's why survival tactics gain through countless experiences and calculations. They don't easily crumble in the face of failure or setbacks. Rather, they excel at turning these into opportunities for better outcomes. This flexibility plays a decisive role in their ability to adapt and survive in any environment, sometimes making them objects of admiration. Penetrating insight. Their ability to cut through to the core is another powerful weapon. Even in complex, tangled problems, they accurately identify the essence without wasting emotional energy on irrelevant details. When many people get swept up in emotions and lose focus, they precisely recognize what matters most and address it clearly. For example, during meetings or debates when opinions fly back and forth, fox-like people stay silent and observe. Then, when everyone's exhausted, they drop a decisive comment that resolves everything. Their words are always concise and clear, giving listeners that aha moment of realization. This insight greatly helps them solve problems efficiently and demonstrate leadership. They hate wasting time or getting caught up in emotional battles. They focus solely on achieving important goals and find the most effective methods to reach them. For instance, their ability to filter out unnecessary data from vast amounts of information and identify core trends particularly shines in the business world. They analyze situations with long-term vision and don't hesitate to make decisions that prioritize long-term gains over short-term benefits. This insight doesn't come merely from knowledge, but from diverse experiences and sharp analytical skills. They always think one step ahead and never slack in their efforts to predict the future. This makes them appear capable and wise. Clear boundary setting. Though they seem kind on the surface, they're also skilled at setting precise boundaries. When expressing their opinions, they never let emotions sway them, delivering judgments rationally. When it comes to their interests, they draw firm lines and prevent others from crossing them. For example, when someone makes an unreasonable request, most people find it hard to refuse or awkwardly try to dodge it. But fox-like individuals clearly yet gently express their refusal. Their rejection conveys their position firmly without offending the other person. Thanks to this, they efficiently manage their time and energy without getting entangled in unnecessary relationships. People observe this and think, they really have self-discipline, or that's a principled person. This boundary setting serves as an important defense mechanism that keeps them centered and unshaken by outside influences. They clearly know their limits and won't tolerate anything beyond them. For instance, when asked personal questions, they don't show displeasure, but politely decline with phrases like, "That's something I'd rather not discuss," protecting their privacy. This approach earns respect while simultaneously establishing the understanding that this person has lines that shouldn't be crossed. By taking clear positions instead of ambiguous attitudes, they prevent unnecessary misunderstandings and conflicts-wise relationship management. Indeed, this is essential for self-protection while maintaining respectful relationships with others. They're skilled at making their case without damaging their reputation or hurting others' feelings. Strong empathy. They also possess exceptional empathy. They sensitively understand others' emotions and show genuine compassion. When someone faces difficulties, they share their own experiences and offer sincere comfort, speaking as if they're in that person's shoes. For example, when a friend goes through a hard time, instead of just saying, "Hang in there," they might say, "I went through something similar before and it was really tough," creating common ground through shared experience. This behavior builds deep trust, making the other person think, "This person really understands how I feel." Thanks to this, they form extensive networks and leave favorable impressions on those around them. However, their empathy often goes beyond simple sympathy. Hidden beneath understanding others' positions and meeting their needs may be an intention to build relationships that will benefit them long-term. For instance, when a colleague struggles with work, they sincerely comfort and generously offer advice. Later, when they face difficulties, that colleague willingly helps them in return. In other words, empathy is an important strategic tool for forming and maintaining relationships. They instinctively know how to win people's hearts and use this to expand their influence. This empathic ability plays a crucial role in accumulating social capital. They don't just listen, they actively hear others' stories, accurately read emotional states, and respond appropriately to form powerful bonds. This stems not from simple psychological techniques, but from deep understanding of human nature. restraining self-promotion. They also refrain from showing off their abilities. They don't boast about their excellent skills or achievements, always maintaining a humble attitude. By lowering themselves and praising others, they work to maintain harmonious relationships. For example, even when achieving great success on a project, they don't take sole credit but attribute it to team members or good fortune. This humble attitude wins favor and helps them avoid becoming targets of jealousy. People see this and think, talented and humble too, raising their estimation even higher. They don't feel the need to prove their abilities. Instead, they let others underestimate them, then reveal their capabilities at crucial moments, surprising everyone around them. This creates an unexpected twist that makes their abilities stand out even more. For instance, someone who usually maintains a low profile delivers an eloquent, persuasive presentation at an important meeting, leaving everyone impressed. This is like a cat hiding its sharp claws, only showing them when necessary a highly strategic approach. This attitude gives them unpredictability and makes them appear even more formidable. They're skilled at drawing out respect through humility rather than provoking envy. Because they have solid confidence in their abilities, they have the luxury of not needing to show off. This strategy solidifies their reputation long-term and provides a foundation for continued success. Calculating nature. Their calculating side can't be overlooked. They act deliberately for their own benefit, trying to achieve favorable outcomes in any situation. Like playing chess, they think several moves ahead and devise strategies to maximize their interests. For example, when considering a proposal, they carefully weigh not just immediate benefits but long-term gains from every angle. Then they make decisions in the direction most suitable for achieving their goals. This calculating nature helps them make rational choices without being swayed by petty emotions. People around them see them as wise and smart, though sometimes they find their overly calculating attitude exhausting. But they never give up their interests. This is almost like an essential instinct for survival and success. Behind all their actions lies the question, what can I gain from this? For instance, even when making plans with friends, they don't just think about having a good time. They consider what information, connections, or future opportunities they might gain. This might seem tiresome, but to them it's a natural process for living efficiently. They hate waste, and every action has a purpose. This calculating mindset helps them minimize risks even in uncertain situations and produce stable results. While it may seem cold, this strategic thinking allows them to make decisions without wavering at critical moments. For them, rational analysis always takes priority over emotional judgment. Composed demeanor. Finally, they maintain a relaxed attitude. They don't easily get excited or show emotions, always appearing calm and composed. They maintain equanimity in any situation, not getting worked up over changes around them. Like a calm lake, they're not easily disturbed by waves. For example, when sudden problems arise and everyone panics, fox-like people calmly diagnose the situation and seek solutions. Their composed attitude gives others a sense of stability and the impression that they're reliable even in difficult situations. People see this and praise them, saying so dependable or what a steel mentality. However, their composure might not be just a personality trait. By not showing emotions, they avoid exposing weaknesses and maintain a strategy of always staying on top. For them, composure equals power, and they use it to control their surroundings. Not showing emotion is both an important self-defense mechanism and often part of psychological warfare to dominate others. For example, even when criticized or attacked, they smile and say, "I can see why you'd think that," calmly deflecting it. This attitude neutralizes the attacker and makes them appear even more composed and strong. They don't rush even in urgent situations, taking a breath to make wiser decisions. This composure gives them the perspective to view situations holistically and make optimal moves without emotional turbulence. Their equanimity leaves deep impressions on those around them, often inspiring both respect and fear simultaneously. Understanding these fox-like people. As we've seen, these cunning fox-like individuals may appear gentle on the surface, but they actually possess highly intelligent and calculating characteristics. They hide their true feelings and use exceptional awareness and flexible adaptability to steer situations in their favor. With penetrating insight and clear boundary setting, they live efficiently. Through empathy and restraint in self-promotion, they leave positive impressions. Additionally, with their calculating nature and composed demeanor, they maximize their interests while always maintaining composure. These people can have significant advantages in social and interpersonal situations. However, there are definite points to watch out for, especially in romantic relationships. Men with these traits can be particularly skilled at manipulating their partners. On the surface, they seem kind and attentive to all women, but ultimately they may try to lead others according to their intentions, so it's important to stay alert. They tend to view relationships as games, valuing their own victory over their partner's feelings. Also, they can easily cut off or use relationships for their benefit, so it's crucial to understand their true intentions before getting too deeply involved. We need wisdom to understand these characteristics and respond intelligently. Rather than judging them as simply bad, it's important to recognize their strengths and weaknesses and use them to our advantage. At the same time, we must stay alert to avoid being used by them and make efforts to maintain healthy relationships. Through their behavior, we're reminded once again of the complexity of human nature, not being fooled by appearances and developing the insight to see through to the essence. That's perhaps the greatest lesson we can learn from dealing with these fox-like people. Ultimately, the most important thing in dealing with people is identifying their sincerity and consistency. We need to develop the ability to read not just what's shown on the surface, but the intentions hidden beneath. I sincerely hope this has helped you build wiser human relationships.